because you can't even. This is the issue. Issue of verification. If I ask you, no. Give me the evidence. What is supposed to happen when Walungu is going out?
You didn't see the evidence. I sent it. The evidence is all over social media.
No. It's not true.
You didn't see the letter.
Okay, letter
to go for medical treatment. I posted it all over social media.
Where was the letter coming from? Where was the letter coming from? And where was it going?
This issue of Walungu, please, should not
be.
None of your business.
Wait.
Let the family do what they want.
No.
You also should just know the person you are supporting. The truth is whether you support them or not. 2026 they are not.
The way you handle issues, and I'm saying that from my perspective, from my own experience, I've had to pay a big price. Due to my confrontational kind of attitude. I remember, when I was in the seminary, I was, in the seminary, you are supposed to be obedient, subservient, for lack of a better word. You have to be subservient, for lack of a better word, in the seminary. But I was quite confrontational still, I've got this strong sense of justice. When I see something that doesn't seem to be just or fair, I usually react. And when I was in the seminary, I was also like that. I was like that to my friends. I would confront my friends. I would confront my formaters. I would make very serious, very strong comments, on certain issues that used to happen. And I remember one priest, Father Augustoni. Father Augustoni was a Comboni missionary, and at one point he was a superior general. And this Father Augustoni, I remember one time there was a priest who was caught in a scandal. Anyway, let me just say, a priest was caught in a scandal, and this scandal was making rounds, among the Catholics and even in our seminary. And I remember coming out very strongly on the table when we were discussing this, and I spoke out very strongly against this priest. When we finished the meal, this Father Augustoni called me and he said, "Walk with me." And he told me, Chilufya, you are young. You are very intelligent, and I know you really want to become a priest, and you will make a very good priest. But you see, for you to become a priest, you need to understand that you are a sinner yourself and others are sinners. You need to understand, for you to become a priest, first of all, you have to understand that you are a sinner and you have got weaknesses, and others are sinners with their own weaknesses. And you also have to know that anything is possible. Anything is possible for you and for others. Don't say, this I can't do. This it shouldn't happen. Anything is possible to human beings. And he was talking in terms of weaknesses. And, I remember very well, that evening listening to him. Still, I was like, this man, come on, what is it? He's just trying to justify what this priest did. What this priest did is wrong. In a way, he advised me, but still, there was a part of me that was like, this is an old priest just trying to defend, somebody that has done something wrong. When a wrong is a wrong, I always used to emphasize this. A wrong is a wrong. Anyway, at the end of the day, I was kicked out of the seminary. At the end of the day, I was kicked out of the seminary. And I was kicked out of the seminary on an issue that if I talk about it here, you would be like, they were very unfair. How could they do that? How could they do that? Yes, I was justified by what I said, because I was kicked out of the seminary because somebody was asked to leave the seminary on something that I believed that, no, the guy was not wrong. And I stood with the guy, I was like a student union, if you like. I was like the student union president. I was, I was a dean. And, so you would actually say a dean in the seminary is like the student union president. So I came out and strongly defended this guy, challenged the formators or the superiors. No, I mean, this guy, you are being unfair to him. What? I remember that night. That night I was almost calling for a riot, in the seminary, because one of our friends was asked to go on something that I believe that this guy was not wrong. Advocacy. Yes, the guy went, and at the end of the day, I'm here, I'm not a priest. Frankly speaking, if I were to choose even today, if I were to choose between, this marriage life and priesthood, trust me, I would choose priesthood. If I were to choose today, if I had that opportunity, forget about, if I were like to start all over again, my life, I would still pursue priesthood, priestly life. I would pursue priestly life. And with what I've learned, I think my attitude will be different on the way that I handled myself or issues. So, if you like, that is one of my regrets. One of my regrets is that, my emotional attitude rendered me to be here where I am. Anyway, I don't look at it as so negative. It is not bad because, look, I ended up getting married. I have beautiful children. And I'm okay. I learned something in the seminary. But my intention when I was young, and at that moment, I wanted to become a priest. And even now, if I could walk back, I would still choose to be a priest. So I am okay with where life has taken me and where I am as a family man. I'm very happy about it. But the lesson something that I'm trying to tell you is that I should have handled my situation better back then. I didn't. I paid a price. The other issue that I would want to discuss, on this is when I got married and had the children the first time, I don't believe in divorce. No, I don't believe in divorce. I don't believe in divorce. I believe that marriage should be worked out. Marriage should be worked out. No matter what challenges come, you should work out your issues, because marriage is supposed to last forever. This is the belief that I've beheld from a long time, from my religious background, from my experience also, because, I experienced, the separation of my parents back then when I was young, and the challenges that I went through as a child. A child is supposed to grow up in a family where the mother and the father are. If these two separate, usually, both sides, they claim they have got their own reasons. No, I did this because I was not happy. No, because I was because it was abusive and whatever. You as adults, you have got where you go. Like somebody said, when you are married and you are divorcing, both of you somehow go back to your parents. The woman will go back to her parents. The husband will also go back to her parents. But where do the children go? Where do the children go? Where do the children go? This one goes that way, this one goes, but where do the children go? The children remain in the middle. The only home that your children have is that home which you have made, where you bore those children. That is the home that your children know. That is the home where they feel comfortable. That is the home, wherever they go, they come back to. But you, the two of you, if you divorce, where do the children go? Where do the children go? You talk about, no, I'm going to shan. You will go that way. But the impact on the children is something that you cannot ameliorate. It's very, you can only ameliorate, but it's difficult. You can't take it away. I'm speaking from experience. My children from my first marriage, they are grown up. They are grown up. You know, the other one is working. The other one is in university. They are grown up. But I can tell you that till today, I feel that, you know, divorce is wrong. And my divorce, again, my divorce was not about, you know, something big and whatever. No, it was all about handling ourselves, handling our emotions, how we handled issues, how we, you know, and again, I can only speak for myself. I was more confrontational, more, you know, I didn't handle things, I handled things in an immature way, more emotional. And at the end of the day, you know, we separated, we divorced, and my two girls, I'm sure even today, don't want to discuss that issue. We can discuss so many other things, but we can't go to that issue. You know, if you bring up that issue, tears just start drawing from their eyes. It is painful. It is not good for your children. But because of my attitude, because of my emotional attitude, I ended up, you know, in that situation. Nonetheless, I can again say it is not bad, because now, look, I have another family, I have another wife, I've got Kia. It's not bad. But in this marriage again, because of my previous experience, my attitude is different. My attitude is different. I am not as I used to be. I would say things, I mean, I was so terrible. These days, you know, I hold back. So those are some of like my regrets on a personal level. Coming to the public, when I joined the public with Zambian Voice, I met this Muzungu, Simon Foot. You know, he was British. And I remember one time we were discussing there at East Park, because I used to, you know, to be exposing people, what. And he told me, he said, you know, this is not the best way to do your advocacy. You end up being bent. You are acting, I remember his analogy, he said, you are acting like a dog, like a puppy that is barking, wah, 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 making noise. And at the end of the day, what people will do when they want to enjoy themselves, they want to dance, and you are just busy making noise. Imagine a puppy at a party where people want to enjoy, and you are just busy making noise. They will just throw you out. They will throw you out, definitely. They will just definitely throw you out. He said that so many years ago, but what he said, here I am. Because I've been thrown out. I've been thrown out of my country. I am out here. The puppy that was making noise, whoa, 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 has been thrown out. I am out here. So Simon Foot, what he said wherever he is, he was right. And now I have a different attitude. So some of you like, Tayali, Tayali, hey, maybe he's just pretending. He's just pretending. If you bring him back, because these discussions go on in different groupings, whenever my name comes up, people react in different ways. No, Tayali, Tayali, And by the way, I want to repeat this, that those of you, Mwema civil servants, if you come before my case, please don't become an investigator. Don't become the police. Don't become the DPP. Just look at my issues as they are. Just look at my issues as they are. I am having these to my issues where people are expressing, Tayali, especially some of you who got jobs into the civil service through my PF. I know you have got issues against me because now I'm not supporting my PF, or you may have issues politically. But when you are in your job, do your job. Don't bring in those issues, Yakuma politics. I am having my issues here and there. Could some of you, civil servants, especially you who are connected to the former PF leadership, I know, I know you, and of course, I've grown up. I'm handling issues differently. Those days, whatever. Why are you doing this? A situation comes, my child is applying for something. Instead of you looking at my child as an individual and deal with that issue, you start thinking, no, but the father. What has my crime got to do with my daughter? What? Some of you, my issues come relating to my wife. No, but the husband. What has my wife got to do with my cases? Is it my wife who has got cases with whoever? And those cases that you are talking about, is it you? Are you the complainant? Are you sure I even have cases now? Are you sure I've got cases? So, by the way, I'm just saying this as a by the way, that please, when an issue comes relating to me, relating to my family, don't try to be like you are the DPP, like you are the police, like you are the investigator. You are not. If I'm renewing a passport, look at the issue as a profession. I'm a citizen. I belong to Zambia. And I'm entitled to have a passport. I'm just saying. So deal with that issue of the passport without saying, but what? You don't know about those issues. You don't know about those issues. If I'm doing something for my daughter, whatever comes up, whatever application that she's doing, no, but the father, stop it. If my wife comes, she's trying to renew her documents, maybe a visa or whatever, deal with that issue on her merit. Not to say, but the husband, muleke. Anyway, basically, all these things, unfortunately, it is also about how I had conducted myself. It's not everything that I said that, they were totally wrong. No, certain things, or totally wrong or false. Certain things they were, but because of my attitude, I ended up where I am. I was talking about this, I was laying a background to these issues that are happening in the country, especially the issue of Binwell, for example. Binwell has been suspended from Parliament a number of times, and he even mentioned it in one of the in the video that he made. I don't know if it's the latest video, but there is a video that I watched him where he was explaining why he was suspended. And he even somehow like bragging it to say, now it has become normal for me to be suspended. I'm suspended every so often. And he seems to be comfortable with it. Well, it might be his political strategy. It might be his political strategy. But from my perspective, I would want to advise my brother to say, maybe you need to change the approach. It's up to him. I cannot teach Binwell how to do politics. By the way, Binwell, has held government portfolios which I've never held. So I mean, I have to recognize that and give him respect. Right now, he is a member of parliament. He was elected by a number of people. So I've never been elected So I don't know. I might be wrong, to advise a guy that has held a government office, that has been elected before. I might be wrong. But I present my opinion in humility to say, if you are going to be suspended so many times, I mean, of what good is it to you, and especially to the people that elected you to be in parliament? Of what good? Maybe to you, it might be, you might feel victorious. You might feel, yeah, I'm doing it. But of what good is it to the people that that elected you to go to parliament? I strongly believe that we can offer checks and balances to the government, but in a manner that we don't embarrass a government or we demean those in government offices. We demean the president, we demean the speaker, we demean the minister. In some extent, our language is even, what is the word? Is even insolent. Sometimes our words are even, next to insults. I think that is not the best way. I know when you are young, it feels good to be charismatic. It feels good to come out and speak, in a way that, people start cheering, because people also like it when you come out like that. When you become charismatic and whatever, you become confrontational, people like it. But from my experience, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. At the end of the day, you may end up like me. You may end up regretting certain issues. You may end up regretting certain issues. Because, I mean, we have seen people, especially in politics, we have seen people that that have gone before us in what we may consider, untimely departure. Untimely departure. We have seen that. We have seen people that are in jail. We have seen people that are in exile, like me, because of the way you handle issues. So one might have to be very careful in the way that you handle issues. Particularly this issue of Binwell, where he's talking about allowances. I've seen a number of people have made their opinions. And indeed, I mean, I respect those opinions. Today, I even had a chance to engage Ken Dumbo, who did a good analysis from his perspective. I watched it, and later on I called him and we had an interaction. Now, from my perspective, Binwell could have had an opinion, a point, but the way he came out, and even in other instances, the way he comes out, he invites problems such that he ends up being suspended, even when he has a point. Because from the way I see Binwell, it is like he wants to embarrass somebody. He wants to embarrass the speaker, especially Nganiba's speaker. He's always there, like trying to put her down, trying to show that, he knows better than the speaker. And frankly speaking, I find, in my opinion, Binwell very disrespectful to the speaker. I find Binwell very disrespectful to the speaker. He handles the speaker with contempt. He treats the speaker with contempt. No, but you can have a point. But there is a way that you have to engage with the speaker. There is a way that you have to talk with the speaker. She may be wrong, okay? She may not be fair or anything, whatever. But there is a way. The demeanor that you carry when you are speaking to the speaker, it must be respectful. It must be respectful. So that is my number one issue with Binwell. I know a lot of you are like, no, the speaker is unfair, whatever, but come on. Binwell's behavior, between the two, who is supposed to show, some respect. I think Binwell ought to respect the speaker. If you are going to speak to the speaker in a contemptuous manner, insolently, no. It is not good. It is not good. So, I am saying this even to you young people. Don't dream of going to parliament and to say, no, hey, you're supposed to challenge. No. You are not there to embarrass the speaker. You are not there to show that you now kwatapo mano, now kwatshama no kuchiraba speaker. Awe. That's why the speaker sometimes also, she comes out in the manner that she does, because some of these people, there is even looking at her as a woman. This aspect is there. There is that misogynist kind of attitude. There is that misogynist kind of attitude. You see it. You may not see, open or expressively put it in words, but your attitude speaks more than the words that you, Madam Speaker, but the way you are coming out, your demeanor shows utter disrespect and contempt on the speaker. This is my view when I watch Binwell debating. I don't like it. And Binwell seems to be taking pride in that. He feels good even when he stands up. It's like, whenever Binwell stands up, it's like he is standing up for a fight. He wants to embarrass somebody. No, according to me, that is not right. It is not right. Now, talking about the issue in point, when Binwell stood up, immediately said, Madam Speaker, whatever those other words, he says, the students are about to run amok. The students are about to run amok because they have not been paid their meal allowances. That itself, the students are about to run amok. What did he mean? This kind of language is not good. It's inciting. And Binwell will not repeat these words when he's talking about this. And even those that are supporting will choose to ignore this kind of language. The students are about to run amok. That is inciting. That is not checks and balances. Much as the students may not have been paid, but it is wrong for Binwell to stand up and say, the students are about to run amok. That becomes a security issue. So right there, you agitate the speaker. And these days, even me, I used to criticize Vanelli Muti, where we are coming from. But Vanelli Muti, these days, if you have observed, I think she's quite tolerant. She's very tolerant. There was a time when Binwell would have been curtailed. Binwell would have been taken to task to say, what do you mean they're about to run amok? But she allowed him to finish. But the way Binwell presented his case, it was, first of all, to embarrass even the minister, to embarrass government. Now, yes, you are in opposition, but much as you are in opposition, you are not there to embarrass government. You are not there to embarrass government. You need to know this. Being in opposition and coming out with issues, it doesn't mean that you have to embarrass government. I may be a wrong guy to talk about this, but I can tell you that I've learned my lessons. I've learned my lessons. So Binwell coming out like that, trying to embarrass government, trying to embarrass the minister, I think that was not right. I think that was not right. Then, talking about the issue of, the speaker challenged him to say, where is the evidence? And Binwell was to say, I've got messages in my phone here. I've got messages. And the speaker could not admit that as evidence. And look, what basically the speaker was saying, there is this issue of where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? And it is coming out like, no, the speaker is being unfair. There is a way that a member of parliament has to conduct his business or offer checks and balances. It is not always that a member of parliament should bring issues on the floor of the house. The members of parliament, they have got access to the executive. So if there is an issue, a member of parliament has got the right, to write a question to the executive to say there is this issue. What is going on? Even to walk to them. If you can't walk to them, you can write. It is not always good for you. It is not an effective way of doing checks and balances. Always standing up on the floor of the house, waiting for matters of urgency attention. And that's when you bring it up. Or wait for, a point of order. Again, it might be a strategy, but then it invites problems. It invites problems. So when the speaker is talking about to say, where is the evidence? Sometimes, if, for example, Binwell had engaged the relevant authorities, if he had engaged them, Binwell would have started by saying, I actually engaged this one and this one and this one. I actually engaged the minister. And the answer that he gave me is unsatisfactory. And because of his failure to act, there is this eminent danger to society, eminent danger to some people. And therefore, this issue becomes a matter of urgent attention. Now, Binwell just got these text messages and immediately stands up in parliament. And of course, it is exciting to those who are watching. Yeah, this is good, this is good, this is good. But that is not the best way. You are inviting trouble. You are inviting trouble. You are inviting trouble to be suspended. And you miss out on other deliberations. Being suspended from parliament should not be taken lightly. If you are a serious member of parliament, should not be taken lightly. Because there will be other subsequent issues that will come on which you can debate on. But when you are not there, you can't debate. So this attitude of trying to make it like it's normal, it's okay for a member of parliament to be out, it is not right. It is not right. So Binwell, he came out, they are running amok, and then he says, no, they are not being paid. The minister came out and he said, well, they have been paid, or they have been paid part of it, whatever. But there was an amount, there was some money that were paid. This is a fact. It has been established, at least from my perspective. I've established that some money were paid. Of course, some amounts there was a balance. So Binwell was not totally lying, but he did not give full details because he was rushing to embarrass government. Because if Binwell was truthfully, totally honest, he would have or if he had taken some time, to investigate about this issue, he would have known about the party payment. He would have known the agreement or the communication that was done to the students, because a communication was done to the students that when they are paid something and they will be paid the balance when they come back. This communication was done to the students, and Binwell should have brought out this as well, to say part of the money was paid, part of it is going to be paid when they come back, because they are not even in campus. So, truthfully speaking, as much as, yes, some of you, no, he did well, whatever, no. He did not really bring out the whole information, and that is what the speaker is talking about, to say, where is your evidence? You have just specified this, but he was challenging him to say, there are more details. There are more details. Bring out those details. And to say, messages will not prove or will not explain that part of the money was paid and part of the money was going to be paid when the students comes back to campus. And the speaker now, there was also this issue to say, but okay, but the minister was allowed to read a message on the phone. Why wasn't Binwell allowed? You have to understand, a minister is a substantive representative or authority on the matter. What the minister says is respected. The minister doesn't need whatever documentation. The minister can simply present matters as he knows, because he is the authority. What the minister says goes. When the minister speaks, when the president speaks, there is no further discussion to say, whatever, unless you really have substantive evidence to say, yes, Mr. Minister, but look, I spoke to the student board and this is what they gave me. There is a letter that they gave me. I wrote them an email. I wrote them whatever, something like that. Otherwise, you can't say, no, the minister was also reading from the phone. But Binwell was stopped. No, there is a difference. The minister is the authority in that position. When the minister speaks, there is nothing like, no. You need to understand how government operates. When I say something, it is subject to verification. When the minister says something, it is policy. It is policy. Unless, yes, you can challenge it with adequate, good information, not to say, somebody told me. Who are you going to believe? The minister or whoever told you? And who is this person who told you? Just because you receive a text message on your phone, does it become verifiable? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. You need, and who is this person? Because the one who is telling you must be authenticated as well. You can't quote 3, 4, 5 students. You can't quote them. If you have to quote, you have to quote an institution. This institution or the director of an institution, Mr. What. That is how you lay things on the table concretely, not in the manner that Binwell did. I know some of you may not like this, but that is just what it is. You can't use, whatever. Who is this person? Can this student come to parliament and give evidence? Can they? They can't. They can't. So the speaker really was on firm grounds when she demanded that Binwell apologizes. She was right. She was right, because Binwell was trying to embarrass government. Binwell was trying to embarrass the minister. And the minister had more information than him. The minister did not lie. The minister said they were paid part of the money, and part of the money will be paid when they come back to university, because at the moment they are not in university. So the minister did not lie. The minister did not lie. But Binwell, deliberately or ignorantly, he left out some information. He just put it there. The students have not been paid. He didn't mention that part of the money was paid. He didn't mention that some students were not even in campus. He didn't mention that. So Binwell really didn't have all the facts. And this is why the speaker asked him to apologize. And he didn't apologize. He acted disrespectfully again to the speaker. And of course the speaker had to, had to take action. He had to punish him. She needs to be in control of parliament. She needs to be in control of parliament. People cannot just be disrespecting her, cannot just be acting with contempt and get away with it. So she was right to suspend Binwell. And my advice to Binwell is that, yes, what you are doing, advocacy is good, offering checks and balances is good. But come on, you can't be the one that is always, suspended. And you are complaining. No, watch your videos and see your attitude. See your demeanor. Look at your language. How you come out. Don't just complain to say, no, hey, no, I'm being suspended. But look at yourself. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Don't be big-headed. Don't be big-headed. No, it's not right. It's just not right. Don't be big-headed. Don't behave like you are the only one that is so intelligent in that parliament. And you can, challenge the speaker. You can challenge. No. Do it in a way that they will appreciate that, yes, you are bringing information. That's why parliament is there. Parliament is not there to embarrass the executive. Parliament is there to offer checks and balances. And when you offer checks and balances, do it in a honorable manner. That's why you are called honorable. Because you're supposed to conduct yourself in a honorable manner. Not what mulipaso weto. Fiapusana. Nga mulimu street, it's another thing. When you go in parliament, you are an honorable member. You respect each other. I like lawyers. That's why lawyers, my learned friend, you don't see lawyers, easily disrespecting each other. Even if they don't agree, they argue in a civilized manner. Mu parliament problem talk what to ya fear na kwa mu street to ingira mu parliament. And so we take the street behavior in parliament as well. I don't think that is right. So Binwell, much as you want to advocate, kwa shalo tushikutu nono, make sure that when you go back to parliament, you are not suspended. Let parliament dissolve without you being suspended. You can prevent it. You can stop it. Don't be excited that I'm being suspended because the speaker is unfair. No, the speaker is very fair. The speaker is quite tolerant. It is you who is showing contempt. It is you who is being disrespectful to the speaker. And the speaker needs to act. She cannot just let you be conducting yourself quite the street away. So that is my take on this issue of Binwell. Which brings me to the issue of Fred Membe. We're talking about checks and balances. Even Fred Membe. Fred Membe talks about Edgar Lungu. But look at the way that he spoke. Look at the manner in which he spoke. Chitumbi chove. Ne chibemba chabulozi. Chitumbi chove. Ulefokulie chitumbi. I mean, surely you can talk about the burial of Edgar Lungu, not in the manner that Fred Membe did. But Fred Membe came out, quite vulgar. No, that was vulgar language. That was disrespectful to the president. No, it is not right. He was insinuating cannibalism. He was insinuating that the president is the one that is holding Chitumbichaba Edgar Lungu. But surely, I don't understand you people. Why you always want to bring Ichitumbichaba, you never take Ichitumbichaba Lungu, pamutu wakwa haka inde ichilem. Why do you want to put the death of Edgar Lungu on Hakainde Hichilema? There has been this attempt from the time that he died. You have been wanting to put this death on Hakainde Hichilema. You came up, no, Hakainde Hichilema poisoned him. No, after what we challenged you to say, look, this man was sick. Then you went on to say, no, he was stopping him from going to the hospital. If he was allowing him to go to the hospital, he wouldn't have died. And yet this man died outside. If this man was being stopped from going to the hospital outside, how come he died in South Africa? You people, you like to say, no. When you said he poisoned, after talking about poison, no, okay, yes, he was sick, but if he was being given, if he was being allowed to go out, he wouldn't have died. The question is, how did he die outside Zambia, if at all he was being denied to go for medical treatment? How did he die in South Africa if he was being denied? And even when we ask you, how many times, when was he, Edgar Lungu, denied to go for medical attention, for medical treatment, whatever? Because Munanda Fifi, but there is no evidence that Edgar Lungu was stopped for going for medical treatment outside. There is no point. There is no point. I can challenge any one of you, including Makebi Zulu. There is no point when Edgar Lungu was denied to go for medical attention. There is no point. When he genuinely, ayandema stories zako bale kumbi elo babe power whatever, those are other issues. But when he was going, when he genuinely, let me put it this way, when Edgar Lungu genuinely and clearly expressed his leaving the country for whatever reason, when he clearly brought out the reason why he's going out, he was never stopped. He was never stopped. The time that Edgar Lungu na so many times, no, to my recollection, I think there are only 2 times. 2 times. And those times, it is because he was not transparent on his going out. He was not transparent. But I know somebody will say, but I mean, he's free to go anywhere. What about his freedom to go anywhere? He's a former president. All former heads of state, they are government assets. Even Barack Obama, American democracy, even Barack Obama, George Bush, whatever, they are government properties. When they are going wherever they are going, they must inform government. Government has to know that they are going Kwakuti na Kwakuti. They are diplomats. Even when they arrive, the diplomats in that country are supposed to go and pick them from the airport, take them to the hotels. That is the protocol. That is the protocol. But some of you, juvenile politicians who come up to say, but it's not in the constitution, it's not in the constitution. Yeah, it's not everything that is in the constitution. But the protocol is there. When a former president is going out, he's supposed to inform government. He's supposed to inform government, and government must make those arrangements. So, Balungu, when he transparently or honestly declared where he was going and the reason why he was going out, he was never denied that trip. He was never denied. He was never barred from going. Never. He went to Korea. He went to South Africa itself. Because even in South Africa, he went there. He went to Zimbabwe. There was no issue and even last time when he went to South Africa, everything was clear. And that's how he ended up in South Africa. So this issue of trying to say, no, he was stopping him. That's why he deteriorated and died. It is not true. It is not true. But then, Mwafuma Ponomba, No, we are not going to bury. We are not going to bring the body to Zambia. We will bury in South Africa. We will bury in South Africa. And we will bring, when Hakainde Hichilema leaves office, that is when we will exhume the body and bring it to Zambia. So no baba Fred membe mende foku mipusha. Mulela ndati, lekomu nova aya tushe. Aya tushe kuisa. Bushe, are you telling me that burying Edgar Lungu in South Africa, that is permanent? We all know that that is not permanent. So take utushoko yo. Take utusha yo. It is the same thing as keeping the body in the mortuary. This time around, Mwaivika Mushiri. Now Musunga, you have deposited it. To come and exhume it so that you can come and permanently bury in Zambia when Hakainde Hichilema is not there. Now, who is bringing in politics? Is it Hakainde Hichilema or yourselves? You are the ones who are saying, no, Tatualete Chitumbi. Who has refused to bring the body to Zambia? Because you people keep saying, no, Hakainde Hichilema, ewa lengo kwa tuishika. The issue is, who has refused to bring the body to Zambia? Who has refused? Who has refused? Is it Hakainde Hichilema or the family? No, they want to bury in South Africa. They want to bury in South Africa. The question is it permanent? Is it permanent? They don't want to bury in South Africa. They don't want. They want to keep the body mumushiri. They want to keep the body mumushiri, and they will remove it and bring it to Zambia when Hakainde Hichilema is no longer in power. Is that right for sure? Is that okay? When you think about Hakainde Hichilema, is that fair to Hakainde Hichilema? Is that fair? Not that washike, we will not bury because tamule shika ku South Africa te kushika mule shika. You are depositing the body in the ground. You are simply depositing the body in the ground. You are just keeping it there. You will exhume it and bring it to Zambia. Moalilanda, it is very clear. When Hakainde Hichilema is not there. But Lupato, when I talk about Lupato, no, Tatuampata Hakainde Hichilema, Lupato Loluin. This is how much you hate Hakainde Hichilema. That no, we cannot bring the body until Hakainde Hichilema is not there. Is that right? But Fred Membe, is that okay? And you know, the thing is that these so-called opposition, some of these opposition, they really don't have what to talk about. But Fred Membe doesn't have what to talk about. But Fred Membe doesn't have issues. But Fred Membe doesn't have issues. But Fred Membe is not a politician. So he just picks things along the way. Ni strategy ya kwa Makebi Zulu. Ni strategy ya kwa Makebi Zulu. Ba Fred Membe bena ba mona tini story barifo ba tolo kerepo ba mdala. It will not help you. It will not help you. This is a wrong issue to propel your political fortune. It is a very wrong issue. It is a very wrong issue, Amdala. You should, I know Mudiwa Karambandi, whatever, but really, Kuma politics, I think I do much better than you. I do much better than you. And maybe you should be consulting me. That is not the issue that you should ride on. That is not the issue that you should ride on. That is a miscalculated issue ya kwa Makebi Zulu. Chitumbi chawa lungu is a miscalculated issue. Miscalculated strategy ya kwa Makebi Zulu. And him of Fred Membe or any other politician cannot jump on that bandwagon and go anywhere. You can't. You can't go anywhere. Chitumbi chawa lungu. You can't. Mulekele nyumwine Makebi Zulu. Mulekele nyumwine Makebi Zulu. Ile ni agenda ya kwa Makebi Zulu. Ni agenda ya kwa Makebi Zulu. Mulekele ni. Don't jump on it because it will not take you anywhere. It will not take you anywhere. What you said to Fred Membe was not good. It was not good. It was not good. Of course, you know, when you are demeaning the president, you are suggesting that the president Chitumbi. I mean, That's not right. That is not right. I mean, what are you doing, Vamdala? What are you doing? So some of this language, I mean, they are provocative. And you can't complain when you are arrested. You can't complain. And you come out, you are still talking about it. No. Hey, tatualeko kulanda. What are you advocating for? Fred, what are you advocating for? You are advocating for Walungu to be buried in South Africa and to be exhumed when Hakainde Hichilema leaves office. Is that right? Ekutusha mulela ndokwacha katushe. Lekeni lekomu no where tushe. Ku South Africa, ekwa tushe. We all know that ukushika kwa Walungu, for it to be really to say we have buried, he will be buried in Zambia. There is nowhere where Walungu will be buried to rest in peace. There is nowhere. No mupashwa wota wa kalale. Walungu wakalale no tukabashika Mzambia. Ile wakalala. This is a fact. So once we were that we are not buried, we have not buried. Buried kuisa. Buried kuisa. Ku South Africa te kushika. It is not permanent. By the very fact that you know that it is not permanent, you cannot say, no, we want to bury. No, that is not burial. That is keeping mumushiri. You are keeping mumushiri. And the government is right. Edi Galungu is a state property. He is a state property. He has to be buried according to the stature of the former head of state. Mukandilat, no, there is no in the constitution. That is being immature. That is being immature. Mukandila ulafuala kaputura kamukati wafubika kona boxer wabika kona toroshi. It is not in the constitution that you should wear those things. It is not in the constitution. You dress up smart. It is not in the constitution. It is respect. It's not everything that is written in the constitution. It is being juvenile to demand to say, no, it is not in the constitution. It is not in the constitution. Once we were on the party leadership, you are wasting your time. Ilani story ya kwa Makebi Zulu. Chishimba cha kwa Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu, his political life, chishimba chama politics ya kwa Makebi Zulu. Chitumbi cha Walungu. Once we were on the po, you waste your time. You waste your time. Because it will not help you at all. Ilani story ya kwa Makebi Zulu. But now with the Makebi Zulu, it will not take him anywhere. It will not take him anywhere. Makebi Zulu, it will not take him anywhere. Makebi Zulu, like I'm saying, Makebi Zulu will not be on the ballot. Once we were Savaida, Ndamieva Kala Natampoku Mieva, Makebi Zulu will not be on the ballot in 2026 August. Makebi Zulu takawe papa ballot. So Mulaishupa, you're wasting your time. Even Makebi Zulu is just a tulia muntulia. Katwisha ofyaba mumuto mumwa kwena ena uli. Bala bantu bali ba special bali. Ilia family yako Makebi Zulu no mwa ichwako. Bali ba special mumito yabo. Bali kwa they have got a problem. Bali kwa tefimi pashi mumito yabo. Bali kwa tefimi pashi mumito yabo. Tabato nitonganya uno. Makebi Zulu is not normal. He is not normal. He is not normal. Kusunga chitumbi. Ukusunga chitumbi. And wala bako wamana kula shinguluka busy campaigning. Awe. No muloshi wako panishi. Atu muntu muloshi. Makebi Zulu if you believe in that, Makebi Zulu nindoshi iya pamuru ya endelele ya ineni. Ukusunge chitumbi. Waisa na mukula campaigna based on chitumbi. Aliko mtima uli ya muntu. Aliko mtima Makebi Zulu. But in the end chishinka Makebi Zulu takabepa ballot. Makebi Zulu takawepa ballot. He won't be on the ballot. He will not be on the ballot. Once we were Savaida, Mukanjeva, Makebi Zulu takawepa ballot. He's not going to be on the ballot. I mean, a guy that says, no, we are not going to bury until Hakainde Hichilema goes out. until wakaenda ichirema goes out. Umwese vati esemi nepa ballot. Awe. I'm telling you, namo ba UPND. By UPND, if you would allow this nonsense, trust me, I don't care what inroads we have made, whatever, I'll be against you. I'm telling you. If you allow Makebi Zulu to be on the ballot, you don't deserve to be in power. You don't deserve to be in power. You don't deserve to be in power. You'll be the most useless president. Most useless. Whatever inroads that you have made, if you just come and allow that, you'll be the most useless president. Nangun democracy, fiabupuwa. Nanguma rights, you can't allow such nonsense. This person has humiliated our country. This person has sworn, has manifested the highest hatred that one can express. Umuntu ngako pachiriro tulakolongana bonse nangu mwalipusene tulakolongana. Eno yasavika pwede no twashike mpaka uyu unless uyu evapo na iwo wine takwa kawama election unless taulipo ulevati takwa kashike unless akaenda ichile matalipo na iwo wine. There will be no election unless you are not there. Unless you are not there. Ngopo litakwa kawama elections. Takwa kawama election. If Makebi Zulu is going to be on the ballot, there will be no elections. There will be no elections. Makebi Zulu will not be on the ballot. Makebi Zulu will not be on the ballot. He will not be. Now, in democracy. Democracy, yona imwe. Maneko muntu achitefia upufia so at your democracy. Hauna imwe. It won't happen. It won't happen. Makebi Zulu is not going to be on the ballot. He's not. Uyo inoka kama paper ya kwa Makebi Zulu. Ate, I certify Makebi Zulu and Mumbipiri as running bench. Kwisa. Mube perefi. Tafia kachitike. If you are elected number one wa Peter Chanda. Peter Chanda na webale Makebi Zulu. Lero wa Peter Chanda waireterera. And what has happened to Peter Chanda should speak to you what is going to happen in August. What has happened to Peter Chanda is an example of what is going to happen in August. Uli onse okay ka political party kove ndefo kumieva ka political party kove kakeme yo Makebi Zulu is going to stand. You will face what Peter Chanda is facing. No, he's going to contest as an independent. Which returning officer is going to accept that? Which returning officer? We all know allow Makebi Zulu to pass pa mulungushi pa yama geti ya pa mulungushi pa pali wama geti pa na bakapokona nawe minina bakapokona wake minina fe Makebi Zulu wake ngire mkati mulia mule angala imu ba UPND te wakuleka if balawa li pa mulunga bala isefya bulokulondoroka ngabala isefya bulokulondoroka imwe bakada Mufida Mwaima, you must defend our country. You must defend our country from such nonsensical people. Such nonsensical people. You shouldn't allow these kind of people. Tekumupata Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu. Alikwate impatila. Move you mutima. Inemfo abantu abalundoroke mitima. Makebi Zulu alibipisho mutima. Te wakulekerera Makebi Zulu. Te wakulekerera. Te kwesha. Te wakulekerera Makebi Zulu. Te wakulekerera mambala uji. He has shown how bad he is. Ndemeba inena alikwata ma experiences yako. Efu achitere treat mtembo nchito. Epo na mwena tu yumuntu alibipo mutima. Efu achitere treat mtembo nchito. Same if achitere mwa icho wako. If achitere kuri udiana nikane uyubaipe. Efu ale achitere kuri mtembo nchito. Mtembo nchito ngali muipe Makebi Zulu. If at all his brother was not alert. Ulia brother wako, he was alert. He was following them. Otherwise, I don't know what they would have done to Mtembo Nchito. Makebi Zulu ali bipo mutima te muntu akwati awe te wakulekerera te question of so once mwe basabaira bakwini mpumi chair whatever you can talk about rights, you can talk about democracy, but what Makebi Zulu has done is beyond all this nonsense of democracy whatever. It's just something else. It is Makebi Zulu that we have Ichitumbi in South Africa not buried, 9 months not buried. And you are afraid, maybe you ought to know better. And you think you are going to make political mileage out of this. You are burying yourself even more. You are burying yourself even more. This is not your fight. Leave it to Makebi Zulu. And even himself is not going anywhere. I think he Naland Epompere. And let me just say thank you very much to Sumaili. But Sumaili confirmed that he saw the body of Edgar Lungu. So to some of you who have been doubting that Edgar Lungu body for, but Sumaili, as much as she's on this side, whatever, but at least she's a credible woman that you can believe when she says, I saw the body of Edgar Lungu. But Sumaili, at least you can trust that woman. She may be biased because of her political position, but she's not a person that will lie to say, I saw Ichitumbi without seeing Ichitumbi. No. So once we were doubt, Balungu, whatever, Balungu is gone. Balungu is gone. The only problem is Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu alebomfye Ichitumbi to become president. And you Zambians should not allow such a person who alebomfye Ichitumbi to become president. No ways. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I can open phone lines now. You can call in. You can call in. I just posted the number there. I posted the number on Facebook. Hello? Ya Jubika. Yeah. Przepraszam, ten szponięty. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please. I can hear you.
Hello? Uncle?
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The network is bad. Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I want to differ a bit on Binwell Mpundu's statement. Binwell Mpundu, in my view, it was right. Binwell Mpundu stood up to say there's a situation at CBU. Students have not been paid. Okay? Then he was said to say, can you give us evidence? He got a phone. And he said, they have messages here. People have been called. No, he's a member of parliament for that constituent. And the students, they have his number. Even the members in that constituency, they have his number. They are able to communicate to him to tell him, this is the situation. Then the speaker told him to say, no, sit down. Let the Minister of Education verify. When the speaker was asking the Minister of Education, it was not even a question, but the speaker was like suggesting. The question was like suggesting, telling him a hint, telling the minister a hint. And it was brushed off. But when the minister stood to speak, he used the phone, And it's a rule. I'm told, and let me say, I don't know much, but I'm told you cannot provide the information in Parliament on phone. But the minister gave that information using a phone. And then, let alone, the Mpundu was penalized to use the phone. I think the speaker is really confusing us.
So listen.
As followers, as this.
So listen. Okay, so Mverani first, Mverani first of all, before mkalibe kuenda huko, Mverani.
Okay, cool.
So number one,
okay, cool.
Binwell, he said, my students, they are not paid, and they are about to run amok. Okay? That language is not good. Amok is, they want to cause problems. That is not good. That is number one. Number one. Then number two. Enzakambachi alinama messages. Alinama messages. Manje imwe. Pamene mulidi imwe. Mulina phone ya. Mulina phone yanga imwe. Then mwabwela mwanitumira phone.
Na phone yanga pali message.
Mverani kaidi. Imwe pamene mulidi hapo mulina phone number yanga. Mulina phone number yanga. Then mwabwela mwanitumira phone. Kuti kuno manesezi sivanafole. Okay? Mwakambati mi amenesi and manesezi sivanafole. Does it mean that it is true? Your information that manesezi, they have not been paid, does it mean it is true? It is not. Because, and what I'm supposed to do myself, even if you give me a message, what I'm supposed to do is to phone somebody mukuru Minister of Health, especially for a member of parliament. He was supposed to call the minister. Okay? Minister, namvera kuti antu my students, they have not been paid. Minister would have given him the answer. Okay? And based on that answer, he would have verified. You see what I mean? That is verification. And in parliament he was supposed to say, even if a minister is now a funsa, you see? So you can't rely just you miss, because I've already even explained, but you didn't get it. So
nakumverani kumaosa ni munivese na inelo.
Amverani simunanivere si nikalibe no siriza. Nikalibe no siriza ati munivese simunanvesese. The issue is the issue is Binwell, you cannot just rely pa information ya mene wakutumira abantu pa phone. Or you a member of parliament wa constituency, you are supposed to verify with my authorities. Bakuza, what is the true situation? But Binwell did not do that. Instead, he was saying, so that one is not admissible mu parliament. Kuti, nina ma messages jamene bantu tumira. Bantu wamene wakutumira ni wandani. Who are those people? Maybe these are people that are just fabricating. Maybe they are not even students. Maybe they are just lying. So, and then number two in Yakuti, Binwell did not give the whole information. Because, according to the minister explained, we gave them part payment, 500, but apa sibali pa university. Bakabwera, we will give them the second part. So, Binwell did not give the full details. That is the number two. Then number three, you are saying that the minister waverenga pa phone. The minister, he doesn't need even to put a paper or whatever. The minister is the one who is in charge. So he can read on the phone. He can even say it without using a phone. He is a minister. He is the authority. Ndiye mwamene zili. Kambani.
Okay. Natoko za kulu kutibwa siliza. Lomba onani. Mpundu enza kamba buno kuti. Ine, nilina ma messages pa phone. This man is the one who is in charge of that constitution. Ndiye background alina numbers ya students bali na mada ya numbers yake. Bamuuza chilungamo chili pa phone. Ngati ninga mifunza ni kuti students bana bali pirality. Mpundu anatamba liti. You are able, I'm sure you are able to mention funza yanga ni yakuti Mpundu anatamba liti just started in parliament. And my students bana bali pirality. Muni yanke hiyo. Then Minister, banatambira pa phone. Parliament bakamba kuti information ya phone feel verified. Why was the speaker not saying this information is valid?
Mverani.
The documentation.
Iya, simumvera. Iyo imwe mverani. Iya, imwe simumvera. Imwe nimvera, but imwe simumvera. Yeah, this man. You know, if you want to argue with me, make a point. I've already explained the minister doesn't need a verification. He is the verification himself. The minister doesn't need verification. When the minister makes a statement, he's a verification himself. You can challenge him, but if you have to challenge him, lay information such as I went to the student board and they told me that they have not been paid. You must be able to quote an authority. But minister doesn't need verification. He is the authority. Problem Simon, you just want to argue. You want to argue. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Sanjay.
Bueno, friend.
Hello?
Yes.
I want to issues. Mwalanda febu, you know. Kalipa for Zambia, Palico and Rova, our Makebi Zulu, which was fast. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
No, I can hear you.
Are you listening?
Yes.
Zulu ava. Sina ultimo awesta kwa advice ni kuinga na ultimo anda kona vena. Bali tu bizinto wase wa ku South Africa then ona wa Binwell Mpundu.
So, problem you need to understand, the minister and Binwell, they are not at the same level. The minister is the authority. Is the one that is in charge. Nobody can say anything about my home. When I come out to say this is the position, that is the position. Unless you have credible information, not my messages yapa phone. My messages yapa phone, people can lie. How many times do people lie? Even me, they send me messages. It's not everything that I come out and talk. I need to verify with the relevant authorities. Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Okay. I've been following your program. I just want to get one clarification. Yes. Binwell Mpundu's issue. I think I've heard you very loud and clear, but I want to get the one clarification at the end of the day. If Binwell Mpundu claims to say that to some extent, it could be true, according to him from angle. To me, it's true and sometimes not true. Because sometimes even use the language like take a punchy way. Uses statements like smooth way. What charge can I go on in parliament? I think it might do That is very wrong. You know? And that, they paint a picture about you, and the people will know you for what you. But if you go back, the time Bill was debating the presidential speech, the Ghanaian presidential speech. I'm sure you watched that debate. You watched it, I'm sure. The way it was treated by some people, I think, fair in my view. Again, when we come to yesterday's issue, Binwell Mpundu's issue, yes, what he said was not 100% correct, and it was not 24. If we put what Binwell Mpundu did into court, I think there is no equivalence there. What I was supposed to do was supposed to tell Binwell and guide him than suspending him the whole day. Because matters came out. The speaker is a parent. The president, because he has a member of her. She just needed to guide him. Then the punishment I think was here for the wrong that that is in my view for the
So listen. So first of all, my brother, you see, he said, you want me to apologize. I will apologize according to your desires. I mean, is that a good language? Is that a good way of responding to, the speaker? Was that respectful?
That wasn't also respect. That wasn't showing respect.
Yes. So the speaker, from my point of view, the speaker tried to guide him. He didn't. The speaker did not suspend him to say, no, you have said what you said is not true, so I'm suspending you. The speaker suspended him for the behavior. It was not about
the conduct.
It is the conduct. Thank you. You have used the right thing. The speaker did not suspend Binwell Mpundu because of what he said about the students. No. He suspended him for the conduct.
I remember commenting on one of these programs to say, you go there as an honorable member of parliament. Some of the language that you use in parliament, you need to be mindful to say, I am presenting people. You can't say, in Bemba, those are insults, right? And then he takes those jokes in parliament. And then when they chase him, he wants to claim as if he is too big for those presiding officers. I think that is also true. Because if there is someone who's got rules, it's him. Like you had put it earlier to say, when you have confrontational and then you can't see, how you can't see the best ways to handle issues. At the end of the day, you are the one who's going to. I think Binwell Mpundu has a lot of learning to do. Apart from, he may have points to bring up. And most people look at what he brings out to say, yes, it's true, but the way he brings it out, people don't want to look at that angle, that aspect as well. Like he mentioned, when you say students are to run a mob, that in its own, it's setting a situation in hostile. Like you was trying to communicate to students, so we understand what is at stake, and you have the right to do whatever you want because you haven't been paid. That's what started being agitated at the university. I think I get your credit on that. Now, when it comes to the use of the phone, Mr. Tayali, sorry, I know I've taken long. Binwell was not allowed to use the phone, and the minister was allowed to use the phone. In parliament, do they use the same rules like in parliament, ministers and members of parliament who are not effective?
So, first of all,
do they use
first of all, the issue is, it's not about the use of the phone. It is about who is your source. It is not about the issue of the phone. It is about who is your source. By the fact that you send me a message and I have it on my phone, does that make it truthful? Just because you have sent me a message, does it make it verifiable? Can Can we say it is true just because I have it on the phone? It may not be true. It may not be true. You can be there. You have sent me a message, and I even know you to say, oh, this person, I know him. He has told me this. But is it true? You see?
That's what. But then, do we get whatever the minister says as gospel truth? Because if that's the case, then we shouldn't have parliament, because parliament there, I think, to put some of the statements straight.
Again, I want to I want others to come in. The issue is the minister and the member of parliament. The minister is in charge of that ministry. So when he speaks, we take it that what he's saying is a verified, that is a position. That is the position. However, if whatever position that the minister has given is contrary to what is on the ground, you should be able to challenge the minister with authority, not quoting students who sent you messages. You should be able to quote, let's say, an institution like the student board. That is what you should quote to say, but the minister is saying this. But the student board said this. I spoke to the director. That is verifiable. That is acceptable. Not message who you cannot even bring to parliament to say, these people sent me messages. No. You're supposed to quote an authority. A minister is an authority. You cannot discredit the minister's position without authority. There must be authority. Exactly. You cannot just because I've got a message per phone. I'm a message nangufene nakutumira message so aponga nagoba tinga ndewe ilepia. Per message ni shitaba fishinga.
No. On that part you are right, Mr. Tayali. Right, I think on that one I've gotten you loud and clear.
Thank you. Can I allow others to come in, please?
Oh, okay, thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, Precious.
Hello, how are you?
Yes, Precious.
Yes. I want to contribute where he was talking about Valungu, that he was not denied to go for medical treatment.
Yes, he wasn't.
But Valungu was denied to go for medical treatment. In fact, he was denied 3 times.
When?
The first one, it was in 2022. The second one, it was in 2023. The third one, it was in 2024. So let's not ignore the truth. Then listen, Precious. Yes.
What you are telling me is not true. It is not true. Those you can't this is the issue to issue of verification. If I ask you,
no.
Give me the evidence. What is supposed to happen when Valungu is going out?
You didn't see the evidence. I sent it. The evidence is all over social media.
No. It's not true. It's not true. Letter to who?
You didn't see the letter.
Okay. Letter to who?
To go for medical treatment. I posted it all over social media.
Where was the letter coming from? Where was the letter coming from, and where was it going?
This issue of Valungu, please, should not be whatever none of your business. Let the family do what they want. You also should just know the person you are supporting. The truth is whether you support them or not. 2026 they are not.
You can't come and lie. When I'm challenging you, there is no evidence that Valungu was stopped from going to medical attention. The case was in court. There is nowhere where that evidence was brought in court that Valungu was stopped to go out for medical treatment. There is nowhere. Hello? 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 I only usually give one chance. You know, I don't want people to come back. I mean, this guy, I was just talking to you for quite some time. You can't come back and, I mean, let me allow other people to call in, please. Let me allow other people to call in. Hello? I don't want to start, I mean, arguing. Ukatuma, then watuma. Even this man that is calling, I'm not picking your call. You didn't want to listen. You believe what you want to believe. You believe what you want to believe. I'm not picking your call. Believe what you want. Stay with it. If you think that, no, I'm not picking this call. I'm not picking your call. I'm not picking your call. I'm not here to start to be arguing with people. I'm explaining. I give, at least you give a different perspective. Not, no, but the minister na phone. Minister doesn't need to read on the phone. And if you are challenging him, challenge him with evidence, not evidence. I've received a message. You have received a message. Does it make it truthful? Even me, I receive so many messages. But those messages, just because somebody has written a message to me, does it make it truthful? No ways. I'm not picking your call. I am not going to pick your call. I'm not going to pick your call. I'm not going to pick your call. I am not going to pick your call. Let me pick other people. Hello? 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 Good evening. Unfortunately, hello? What's going on there? Mlebomfia nankane? Hello? These people are authorities. If you have called, don't call me again. I want to pick other calls. and some of these people, if you have already called, let me pick other calls. Let me pick other calls. If you have called, and let me pick other calls as well. If you have called, if you went through, you have gone through, don't call me again. Hello? But you called and you spoke for a long time, honestly. Let me pick other calls, please.
Just a point. Just 1 point.
Okay.
Yes, I just want to one of your callers, that you don't have right to talk about concerning Balungu. First and foremost, Balungu prove after yena. Secondly, Balungu because a father to all of us. That's why we want to come to our dealer.
Okay, Mwana. Your point made. Thank you. Point made. Yeah. Ndipo yai. Yeah. No, don't talk about Balungu. Balungu is a former president. We need to talk about it. And Makebi Zulu is doing politics in Chitumbi. We should just allow Makebi Zulu to Dalanda what Makebi Zulu, the family, what they want. They don't want to bury in South Africa. They want to keep the body in South Africa and bring it later on. That is not acceptable. That is not acceptable. Aedi Galungu is a former head of state. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm able to hear you as well. Mwabomba
Yeah, mkoe.
Awe ndira ndakufipa ya balungu ine. Ya balungu pali time imwe babikira tero barashika ku South Africa. So walisacha contingent bakabesha. Neri ashapo pene epoli yakosera. Ino nchitatureranda nokushika nga walishika kale. Nangu ba family baranda chawe tatufwa bakamane pa chitumbi wa president. Wa president wafere wana kasa kumutima ko bati okay, lekeni bashi kefie. So epo yakosera.
So namba
kulima Binwell Mpundu na kwena yalikosa iba bapanike ababeni barandoka bali sinyaka video mailo kwebati mule ntumina ama proof so that ngala random parliament yamposusha so wamuna nomba I'm losing my allowances hapa nomba bushodi naranda kufika ka consent kambisha kandise
kuti mwalanda
economy mchalo chesu yali yashupa sana nombe funa sanga ko bwafya ababa isana bena ba UPND na bena bali tampo konkanya po Kongola so apara chira mona pa TV na ba Kongola $277 million loan na poka loan ku UK nombe shinkongola nga bakonkanya po fe shire fulida ko fe tukaba mwino samwe bantu Wantu wafina watu mtonganya kwa fina mnife God tu akwata muno mchalo mwesu. Bafimba sile ba FQM bemba God ku kansanshi mind. Every day akadeke karamu kusenda God kuli. Nomba yefokti tu aswasha ka God plant ka no. Teti muwe na nantane wako wati ewa biyo mwine wa kampani kwewe inesi kuchituwa ikwati. Nkongole Mr. President ya chila mchalo chesu. That's why tatuishu uchushinga mkapo mwandi because ababa isana na uvarelunda post tabelika korodi mapuira ya kwebati wafuaye insurance twala puisha mwenkongo aona bena varelunda post na bambi watumeko ishita mwenga kwati ya mkupona tetela sana
nomba umfueniko panono paja shimwa mwa kumiapo ili abalungu kwa wati yoba akabesha bali panga injunction vakaveshocho vapangi ukushika kwa balungu nangu ba family bevati ukushika ku South Africa but te kushika kwa wati bakashike chikapwe iyo te kushika kwa wati bakashika tingabashika ti balungu bakikala kula kwini kusunga mumushiri baibo kwa tingabashika then balungu ba echechi ngabafumapo elo bakashikule bakalete mu Zambia. So te kushika kwa permanent yo, ukushika kwa permanent kukaba mu Zambia. But for now, webati yo first tushike mumushiri, elo ba eche ngabafumapo, elo tukashikule tukalete. Mwamona. Nomba bushe chisumecho, ukutambela vyapo pena hapo bushe kwena chisuma. Niishi te tumfwani nefyo kwebati, tumfwane wino balungu bese mu Zambia tuse tubashike wino tusuleko ngefe tuwashika bambi. Ero pako bati yo akainde ichilema besangwako bakainde ichilema ni ba president bushekwena muchinshuyo kuli kateka ukobati yo uye sangwako nangu palu papa myenu baisa mye bati yo tatuwashike mpaka imo mufumepo bushekwena chile moneka buino ebu Christiani ate Zambia a Christian nation bushele moneka buino echo
awe tetile moneka buino nomba infue hii tetuishwe katuishi nechare ngokwe bati bakose kumutima wa family na bena ndi pali becha bakali pamwishwe kya kuchitika fyali fulisha so tuishwe bwino ife fintu na ngoma evidence bako bati tapu leta ko evidence ili kuisapa isingi tufirenga sapi tufumura kusesine pama TV sapi tafyaya so kuti warane chintu nomba wako wati produce the evidence yala ko sapo so katishika wakalipasara ba family na bena paka wati besumina ukweva ati bese bashikire muno mu Zambia na mulanda fe bwino kwenga ngabashika kule South Africa ya temporary failure bagia ikula bakofera kwa choromba bashika lero ni muno mu Zambia chachi iso mulandi nombe fo babisha wa family kwena kuli wa government taking chirene bwe mwandi nimwe so
mamona
ko indira watu bakabesha bana ambo kumfana na family
so mamona na ngukupusana ukupusana kuti kwa bapo mamona ukupusana kuti kwa bapo babantu baba ukupusana kuna ba ukushenkana filafili but palas mufile mwatashani mwamfwana mwakosako mwanake emitima ichashu papo ni ikutwalanda pafeturemona Makebi Zulu waiminina po ulanda po sana ewa isa imina nombati ndefo kuimina bu president mwamona
Mr. President tekumika tapakana baba Makebi Zulu bali bamwena mona mfini muno mu Zambia muri uko bali bamwena mu bera papene bese full force point waparamina kuchitumbi balandiro ko batiyoni neona la president yena ya mwana tapabo ya support
mwamona
nibamu mbipiri ababene bakonka ishana ababene banda bale mpoka koti change bale simisha otherwise iPhone pali BM fyapo
na totera chisuma mkwae Okay. This man is very clever. He squeezes in issue of BM. So issue ya Chitumbi, it's not about Hakainde Ichilema. That is the issue. It's not about Hakainde Ichilema. Hakainde Ichilema, if anything, has got nothing to do with Chitumbi. Hakainde Ichilema only presides as president. And as president, he has to preserve the interest of Zambians. And the interest of Zambians, nangunga twalimina chituvote, abantu abengi kuti bavoto kwa tao trefo chitumbi chise. I don't think muntu tontonkanya wino. Alasuminisho kwa chiyoba balungu tubashike mu South Africa. No. I think majority Zambians want Chitumbi to come to Zambia and Edgar Lungu to be buried in Zambia. That is what we call public interest. And the Hakainde Ichilema has to represent that public interest. Nangumu inetale fwaya, but public interest. If public interest says, acho trefu anichi, Hakainde Ichilema fuida konka. So Hakainde Ichilema, it is not about him, it is about public interest. Public interest, no matter which way you look at it. Ndipo ndimo wolimba mungo tuma kambani musafere kutulo kambani
akulu koma mwayamba na mawe yokalipa ka
because
akulu mwayamba na apali ngani ya paisa kamwe mukamba kuti ni ngani ya paisa baba mukalipa lomba tukambe chani
pepani nikurulukireni kambani nikurulukireni ndine muntu naina ni marakwa
muleta papepo niyo kondoleza tukungo uzana
na
tukoka lipilana kuti kapena tunyoza mweolo kapena mwe mutunyoza koma mwe oluzana chabe bali woza bali ateme tuziva koma mulungu eka ndiye ozi
pepani verani nakambati
mukoka lipa
mange naimwe verani why simu vera naimwe ndiye problem muli naimwe apa nikambati nikululukireni mungo kamba nesini ni monga Binwell ina nikamvera wakaniuza tia iwalakwa ina nima pempa tia nikululukireni sini ni monga Binwell kambani nizamisia kambani manje kambani ni Floyan
munane munikululukire pepe
ipetieni kambani ni Floyan manje
nete menu kungo kamba ponja kuti mau yangu ni awili yakuti neo Binwell kamba mchilungamo amai Binwell kama muona monga ni muntu wovuta ngako chilimonga wewe kwatira mwana kazi leni wakupeza na mwana ula mwana kazi sama muona bwino ndiye pamene muona Binwell ndiye pamene ngokukamba aponepo Binwell ni munthu wapunongako then ma students pamene basapota amayi vankhale pansi vayangalirepo valingalirepo aone kuti amayi valiye mpase Binwell Mpundu nthawi yakuti akambepo ndiye pamene nifuna okamba oloveka amayi kwamene valili ngati vangayitambe video vakungongala pansi valingalirapo vangazione kuti velakwa chifukwa vangaliye minister aliye mu parliament muli chilungamo chakuti umboni ufuni kunkhala pa paper akosati pa phone mwaona ka koma vemulola minister kukambira nkhani pa phone Binwell osamulola ndiye pamene paninkhalira munga palivuto akulu osati vuto linamwewa tayali
iya imona ine
nkhani panga kamba pakati mwewa akulu tukukondane mwewa
iya imona ine tulina vuto imwe simufuna kumvesesa kuti minister alina mpamvu minister akakamba ndiye mwini munyumba mwanumo wamene alina mawu ni ndani imwe mukakamba pankani ya pa nyumba pano na ine nikakamba wamene
head wa house ka
ndiye wamene imwe mukakamba ti mwana wanga uyu anabadwa pa 5 January pamene apo mukakamba ti yayi chani bweresa evidence ina nikashusha ndine nifuniko
zamunganda kulu tukazisitia compare na malamulo ya parliament mwa
iya zikomo kwambiri zikomo na niziva sizamverana iya bye
nikukondani akulu
iya zikomo sizamverana imwe iya muli na pamene mwayimirira muli pamene mwayimirira iya
imwe ndimwe mwanizonda mwena
that's why
akulu mwene kukondani ne
mverani izi ntota zaso ndiye zamene zibweresera ma problem kuli Binwell because muntu ufunika wamverako kuli venangu osati pamene wayimirira ndiye pamene yapo pamene wayimirira ndiye pamene yapo manje nichisemvera bwana that's why manje even manje ukayimirira ata uyu waona then pamene uyambo kamba ati ma students bafuna panga musokonezo manje chifukwa they have not been paid mwaona
ndiye mumala mwang'ombe mmachosa makalazi ya mbili osa kumudwe yaya akulu
zikomo mugone bwino
zikomo kwambili akulu
hello
chingule ponde umfika
mkwai mleo mfika bwino sana
good evening mkwai natotera sana pakumpera kwa chance na ino kweva na ine mbose po nini miko mkabwino sana ba Tayali weswero kabiri topic ili bwino sana program yanu mletere nayo wama sana na ine concern yanyala lundapo fe ni pama supporters yaba lungu and looking at the reality I don't think a normal person can allow what is happening right now over the death of our former head of state. It has come to my attention also to come into look into this matter because as the Zambian culture, the way we are, we don't allow such thing to happen in Zambia. And for the death concerning Bado Yava Lungu, it's now too much. What I can say is Lungu accepted to be a leader of Zambia. And being a leader of Zambia, whichever circumstance that the leader is going to die in, there is a place where those people have been given where he should be, he should lie. No matter how he died, but as long as he was the head of state, he's supposed to be laid. Now, what surprises me is a lot of people, more especially those supporters, the big people who we trust in the ruling of this country, are the one who is against over the president's decision to bring back the body of the Exiled. So again, on this one, so there on former comments and other people, the way they are commenting, it's like they are supporting over the decision of Makebi Zulu to block family of the late President Edgar Chagwalungu to bring it back to Zambia so that we can all have a share in mourning our former head of state.
Exactly.
Now, what people are giving or what they are contributing is totally out of our belief in Zambia. Assuming it's relative, have we ever done that in our mourning in Muma families? Yes, we have never done that. Nanguni Mfumu, we've never done that. This is the first time in Zambian history, and we don't know why people are supporting that. Whether they differ with our president, the current president, HH, whatever happened, but the president should make a decision and put Edgar Lungu to rest in Zambia. That is it. That is what we want. It is too much and we can't take it anymore.
Thank you.
So I don't even, I don't know why people, more especially big people, want to have Zambia, I follow that to Zambia, but we see things are wrong over the death of our former head of state. How are we going to mourn the head of state if we are like if they were like to bring the burial, the body for burial in Zambia? No one is going to be, maybe no one is going to be interested in that because it's overdue. And the people can't see it. What is the interest of Makebi Zulu to stand on presidential ticket to run for presidential when he's not yet done with the burial process in South Africa with the family? That is unacceptable. As Zambians, we are not going to allow that.
Thank you.
As Zambians, we are not going to allow that, and we should stand together to fight for this spirit which has entered Zambia.
Thank you.
Which is very bad.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Hello? Hello?
Bashan kwaba tayali nchi wa mlife wino ndefo okulunda pafile chipika mchalo chesu
Mkwae.
na balira pokulanda kofe pama ishu zale chika mchalo wanu kwesa kuchilo chava lungu sangiro kwewati nepa luwandi opinion yandia kwewati family wako lungu barengu famkwai
Mkwae.
Hello?
Mkwae, you.
La family wako lungu baalishi babe nopo bayimina na government baalishi bapo bayimina because ulunguli lule moneka lwala chitasana affect ikintu na sindi mchalo chesu as it is now na wale kefe balungu na family abe ni bapuisha nyaitenga mtitizenzi chile mwana kwati na mtunga kita comment ba family bali serious ba government na bali serious nga na tukompanye po na mafia yacha then kuisa ko kuli findi ifi kunyetalo chesu ndero mbako fikwe na Zambia kuombele pamo ukumekinga shwati itaro chesu chakingwa wino paninga tatuchenjere ama politician bitibaona ule charo chesu chotwa kwa taleka takapere charo na chimbi. This is the Zambia we have. Zambia is for Zambians. Ama institutions yonse yale bombera kwe charo yale pale bako justice watu ngatakonkelele finisa kwati yo abali mupawa because I'm a politics it gives a platform for Zambians to choose their leader to control our own country. But if we allow a politician to manipulate national institutions, especially judiciary is the last hope for Zambians. So if that is being manipulated to save a certain section of the people in the society, abena Zambia bakautira kuita babatona lama national institutions like parliament, ama court and all these other institutions working to save the interest of few individuals. Ama Zambia bakaputira kuita especially kapanchia kwa tungusha msangwezo limbita chakabepo mayo. They will leave this Zambia bakatishira a chaotic nation. Tukekarata nkuntani bakukontrol Africa tukupa na lomba ta na Zambia bonse tuombele pota pa moto making it kwati intunguru chinga cha Rusiani twalanda kwa sho intunguru shishilo kwa charo chilelanda uko na kulela mko
natotera Hello? Hello?
Mbona maomba sana.
Mkwe.
Ndipo kuanda that I love the way you handle pressures. Arandikisha sana. So mamitape wino. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, yeah, and of course, sometimes I also get emotional. That's why, you need to understand me, and where I go wrong, please forgive me. I think, we should have a humble attitude all the time, not just to take it to say, limo kuichefiako. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Binwell, Binwell, I don't think the speaker hates Binwell. It is the way Binwell comes out. The way he comes out, he invites, like he can hear the speaker. The speaker didn't, when he allowed him to speak. And by the way, you must know that the speaker, you must be given an opportunity by the speaker to speak. So if a speaker doesn't like Binwell, he would have just been omitting him. The same way that, I'm picking calls. The speaker, she even sees the names. So why is it that Binwell is given the floor? Because some of you are busy saying, no, but speaker wali mpata. But I am telling you that in parliament, for you to speak, you must be given an opportunity. And for you to be given an opportunity, you must indicate. You indicate. And when you indicate, the speaker knows who you are. The speaker knows who you are. When the speaker is pointing at you, they know who they are giving chance. So if Binwell is hated, how come Binwell is pointed to debate so many times? Because we see Binwell being pointed so many times than others, actually. Than others. Binwell is given more time to speak in parliament. If a speaker wali mupata, Binwell would ngawala musha. He would have been sidelined. He would have been ignored. But the speaker picks Binwell. It is only him himself, what he says. That is where the problem comes. So me, I don't agree to that sentiment to say, Binwell bali mupata wa speaker. Binwell is chosen so many times, often more than others. It is because the speaker gives him the platform. Unfortunately, himself, Binwell, when he stands up to speak, what he says, even when he has a point, surely the issue of the students didn't need to end up in him being suspended. All he needed to do is to apologize, because much as he had a point, he did not have accurate information. He didn't have accurate information. And he could have had that accurate information had he tried, to engage. And that's why I like this young man, president, CBU. He has actually said it, to say he should have verified. He should have checked with one or two people, than just to rely to say, no, people have given me my messages. We all receive messages. People give us messages. Messages. But when they send us the messages, we don't just come here and start talking about it. We try to call, we try to check here and there to make sure that what we are saying is what is on the ground. I think on that note, let me close my program. Thank you very much for following me. Again, I don't want just to be coming here talking anyhow. I want to speak about issues. So when there is an issue, I'll definitely come up. But when there is no issue, I would rather sleep, especially that, the time differences, it's just difficult. it's very difficult for me. This is why I wish I were home or near home, where the time difference is pretty much the same. You know, Kunonava, it's another world. It's a little bit far from home, but we do what we have to do. I just want to emphasize also lastly that civil servants don't bring politics in issues that are not political. When my children are asking for something, they are applying for something, we don't ask for shortcuts. When you are asking for something, just treat that issue as it is, not to become our politics. When my wife is asking for, to renew her permit, whatever, don't bring in Tayali, whatever. It's not nice. Because one day, nkazanda, nkesa pasa ola pano nkasavaire, tachaka wame. Ero mwebamo, anyway, bye.